Palim Palim, and welcome to this Ain't a Dating Show XXX, the video podcast about the dating and adult industry from Masters in Cash. And today we have a real veteran in the podcast. It's Thor from Executive Outcomes, and we will speak a little bit about the history about online adult entertainment. And not only about the history, but also the trends and future of adult SEO in 2023, 2024. Thor, thank you for joining here and taking time.
Hi, Stefan. Nice to be in your podcast, in the Master in Cash podcast. I think many in the industry know me as Thor. I was often on shows in the past. During Corona, I stopped a little bit with shows. But I think next year I will rejoin the game with the shows.
Yeah, you have to. It's always nice to see face to face, have a drink, and just gossip about the others. So you are how long in this industry already?
So I started in the early 2000s with online marketing. I have a pretty decent sales background, and it happens that I was not so happy with only being in sales, and I started to study marketing, economics and marketing. And in this years, early 2000 and 1990s, 2000s, online marketing was not this big. It was not even a topic in the universities, but I was very interested in it, and so I educated myself, and so it happens that my study at the university took not very long, and I dropped out because I had more time to invest into online marketing. It was early, there were many ways to make money. And I started to focus on the online marketing thing in 2001, 2002. That's where it took off, where I registered my first domains and started first field tests with marketing.
I'm not sure if I had somebody with that long experience in the industry in this podcast or my other podcast. Maybe Brad Mitchell, he's also like 20 years plus, maybe Roland, but it's possible that you are even the biggest veteran here that deserves the Medal of Honor. So, or the Medal of Porn or adult, of online adult stuff. So when you decided and why you decided to enter the adult industry?
So first, when I started, there were already some affiliate things in the marketing space, very rudimentary, and there were these big hubs where you had everything. You had to have a little bit of dating, but you also had leather belts or holy water and what else? Super clicks. Does it tell you?
Clicks, it's Marcus was his name, right?
Yeah, Marcus, he ended business, I think, last year. He shut the company down, but this was the go-to resource in the early 2000s.
For German speakers or in general, worldwide?
I think for German speakers. Worldwide, there was there is no traffic or no product affiliate hub I remember back then. When I'm thinking about international companies, there are different companies coming into my mind. Like a competitor to yours, to the company you are working for from the US, and those were the first in this space. Yeah, and so I tested a little bit with holiday, with wellness stuff, and finally I came to the dating field. And I remember my first thing I promoted was a little bit Black Hat, because at this time you had guest books, bulletin boards, and this stuff. So sitting on Fridays when my friends were in the club or the discotheque in front of the computer and spamming bulletin boards for a dating site. Actually, for a hookup. What is it called? Seitensprung?
Seitensprung, yeah, a fling.
Yeah.
An affair. I think
Affair, yeah.
is
Affair site, something like this. But
you remember the name of it?
no, I really don't. And I don't even think that it's still as it exists today, because you had to write an email, they put and pay money through bank, and then they put up your profile, and to gain access to the profiles you had to pay per bank transfer, and the money you got was huge. It was from 70. Was it still? No, it was already euros. It was from 70 to 200 euros.
And it was practically like a CPA model already.
It was a CPA model. They didn't have recurring memberships. They paid you for the first sale you made.
I mean, it's super crazy, because think about it. Now everybody has like tools to calculate what CPA they can afford with an affiliate, but there must be one person. There was nothing around at this time, most probably. There must be one person with like a calculator that was calculating how much he can pay Thorsten and how much he can pay Markus and whatever, these old school affiliates back then. So that's totally nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts. And yeah, that's where I started with this program with Markus, basically. And then companies like Sex Money arise, like Michael Royal back then, and Richard Wismeyer with their very awesome site. And they had different pay sites, so content pay site models with very cheap content inside, and mostly plug-in modules from content providers like feed sites, where very old videos were shown in like thumbnail size. So the sites were basically mobile friendly for today. And
well, with the cheap content, we had our experience with mobile as well. So
we had, yes. And so yeah, so with mostly picture sets and this stuff, that was also the sites where sites like Persian Kitty, the Heim yellow pages arise and started to.
What was the name of the girl from Persian Kitty? I think she died as well, or if I remember correctly.
I think she passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't recognize it, but I heard something like this. But Persian Kitty was huge, and then the Heim came, and
it was the first porn site I ever visited. And it must be in 1997. The Hans Yellow Pages. One friend of mine, he had like a modem in his house. He was like one of these rich kids.
Yeah.
And I was visiting him there to play PlayStation or Super Nintendo or whatever it was. And he said, bro, I have to show you something. And we went with this modem like, and then it's loading this page from the hunt that still looks the same. And he shows me some stuff and I see the dick there. And I'm like, this cannot be a real dick. It's so much bigger than mine. And then years later, you meet this person, you know, and it's not like you see this person like somewhere on the other street or so. So no, you sit with this guy there and you drink with this guy beer, and he speaks German. It's like super entertaining, approachable guy. But this is the first time I practically saw porn on the internet.
Yeah, and it was, everything was still very slowly, right?
Yeah, you had only pictures. So of course, also the access to the internet was limited, because back then you had like only one channel, let's say, and if you were in the internet, nobody could call you, and nobody could call out. So your parents were like pissed when you were on the internet. In my case, it was like this: if I was not informing my father and he picks up the phone, he was kicking me out of the internet. And to go back was sometimes even stressful. You were not like permanently connected with Wi-Fi. I mean, there are so many people in this industry that are like starting their career with 15, 16, that are now maybe 18, 20, super successful, but they maybe cannot even imagine how the internet
No,
was back then.
no, they can't. And also marketing-wise, it was not much easier, but it was a way easier than today.
Was it maybe also because there was not so much competition because people were not having permanently these online marketers rubbing the success under the nose of everybody? So you had to practically search for it or have a friend that tell you this. It was not coming on your plate.
I think so. So in my case, it was like I was starting to build this rudimentary HTML websites, and I started to learn web design, so HTML, a little bit JavaScript and this stuff. And when I made the first two sites, and I learned that they are way too big and they take hours to load with a lot of blink, turning, email in,
And you
blah.
had for sure also the caterpillar for under construction.
Yeah, the caterpillar for
Yeah.
construction and all this bullshit. And so I was like sitting there and thought, hey, that is a lot of fun, but there must be a way to earn money with this internet thing. And that's where I got curious and I started to think about that. I did my research, went through boards and found that was later the Jack-in forum, which was in Germany at this time, a really big resource, the Why Not forum. Not, no, it was Why Not? Yeah, Why Not? And all these resources and dig through the resources and learned pretty fast that porn is most easy and well-paying business you could pursue to make a living out of it or have success. Because in all these other things like travel, well-being stuff, and or promoting some other sites, I was not so into it. Also, the models didn't match or were not so attractive, like get 10% per sale. Hey, in porn you got 50% of the sale, yeah. A lifelong, yeah. Every company advertised with lifelong payments, yeah. So the money you could make in porn was much bigger than in every other
Was
niche.
SEO already a topic there, or you were relying in the beginning fully on these guestbook spams?
On the beginning, I was relying fully on this guestbook, bulletin board spams, but later I designed also own websites to have a traffic funnel, a sales funnel for the sites, because I was always curious sending traffic which stayed to one site, because when there suddenly happened something that I can't predict, or something happens with the site, there would be still a lot of backlinks on, but they were lost, and change spam backlinks from boards was not really possible. So I early registered a site. I dumped it a long time ago. It was superlifesex.com. Yeah.
You had also a dash in between?
No.
And you know what is missing at 24 in the end?
Yeah, the 24, but with the 24, luckily, or absolute teen sex, yeah.
Absolute teen sex 24?
Yeah, absolute teen sex 24. Then you would have a lawsuit from the 24 company and the Absolute Vodka company.
Oh, okay.
This happened. It happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, so I registered my first website, and I banners, graphics, banners. It was a banner hub.
So one question there as well. It was really like banner focused. There was nothing like, okay, native is also in some way often like some type of banner, but also like in the text. This was back then not a topic. You were making banners and maybe a tab, and that's it.
And that's it.
Mm.
Yeah. So my first site was mostly a picture from a nice girl, and sometimes a text link under "Meet me here," yeah, and under it, because I didn't want to miss out any people who were not interested in this girl, a farm of banners. Also backlinks to top lists, adult search engines, or link farms. Yeah, so this was the first for the spam traffic. Then in Germany, something occurred. The first age verification act.
In which year was this? You remember that?
I think it was it 2002, 2003, 2000.
Oh, okay. Wow. Germany was in this case fast with doing something that is digital related.
Yeah, it was two businessmen. So one was Greven, no, was no. I don't remember, but it was a guy from the Cologne area, and he in the X check was it. So and he forced or worked very close with authorities together to get only his solution accredited by the government. So first you only had to type your passport number in, and you were approved. That was the first thing. But he wanted to make money out of it, so he invented this dongle, a USB stick you had to stick in your computer, and to type then in a password. And to get this, you had to walk to the post office, show your passport, and tell, I'm 18, I want to order access to a porn site. But this use verification is a whole other topic for other podcasts.
I mean, now it comes to other countries as well.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in UK, it seems to be like a gigantic big topic. On every conference I am, there are like people from the UK that have the age verification service for there in place.
It's like in Germany, you know, it's as long as around as I can think. And it's sometimes more, sometimes less. After this, then there was Tobias Huth and the guy from Xcheck battling each other. Then we had in 2005 or 2006, we had the drive from a guy, Grevenstein or so. He was he owned a lot of video stores in Germany,
and he didn't like that now this is moving to the internet.
Yeah, but he also had, I think, videobuster.de as a website, and he was very limited. He was not allowed to show pictures, to describe the videos, so he sticked very, very close to the German law. And he had an aversion against YouPorn, Pornhub, and all these websites coming up back then. And he sued the providers, the internet providers like Arcor and so on, to block IP-based YouPorn. Back then it was only YouPorn, to block YouPorn. And so what Tobias and I did, I opened a company, and we filed then, we filed a lawsuit against Google. So we said when when YouPorn gets banned in Germany for showing porn, Google must be banned as well, because they show porn and even worse stuff, I don't want to tell here, yeah, to minors and to everyone, even non-legal stuff. Yeah. And Frankfurt, the court in Frankfurt approved it, but they dismissed it. And with the dismiss, Accor had to give YouPorn free again. And that's it with all the story from him, because then he was out of money and they're not able to do anything again. Yeah. So if nobody would have done something, I think we would already in 2005 have a provider-based ban on porn sites.
Wow, wild.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you really give your insights that also for me. I mean, I started 2010 and the company I started with, it was around in adult stuff, I think since 1998. So you were hearing all these stories in some way one time, but of course you add your more details and a different view. Speaking about the old times a little bit more. Back in the days, I remember there were these groups of webmasters that were working together. Um, I don't want to name now these people. I mean, but for example, one guy, he was coming, he changed his gender back then. He was already a trendsetter. And I know the story where he is sitting there in the group of affiliates and his ballsack pops out of his pants in this meeting. So was there a bigger community of affiliates that were cooperating and making meetups than now, or is it similar, or how you see it?
So first, because we lost on the age verification a little bit our view on why I opened the topic on age verification.
Okay.
Yeah, this was because in the age verification systems like XCheck, Check 2000, über 18 from Tobias, they had picture galleries like the Hun or Persian Kitty, and the clients from them were able to watch these picture galleries. And they had thousands of clients because a lot of people were forced back then. So they had a huge client base, and they were paying because they already paid for the age verification. So there were webmasters out there only generating thumbnail galleries to post them in this age verification systems in their own TGP, and it was huge money. I remember guys back then, they made 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 euros a month only with this age verification systems.
So the age verification practically had also like an affiliate program behind it.
They had a traffic source. They were a traffic source. And of course, you were promoting them on your sites. You brought also clients in. So it was, you gained clients and you brought some clients. So it was a giving and taking, but I think the affiliates took more than the affiliate programs, this age verification programs took.
How they were even tracking this. I mean, if I go now to the post office and say like, hey, I want to watch porn, here's my ID, give me the dongle. How they know that I come from this and this website?
Yeah, because you had to fill out, you had to register on the site, and then you got your PDF and were able to go to or your online form and print it and take it to the post office.
So, Sergey, you know Sergey as well, Sergey Glaukos? I
Yeah.
watched a speech he made, and it was he was presenting the first tracking ever in history of affiliate marketing, and it was offline affiliate marketing from 1950. I cannot recall it exactly, but it was practically you wanted to get like a book how to become strong or rich, you know, something that covers the basic need of every person, and you had to cut out like I think it was from the Playboy, like a paper, and send it there with the post, and most probably put in some money or so. I cannot recall it exactly. He made it like half a year ago. And on every paper, there was like a tracking code. So they had also printed on this paper already something that is identifiable from which magazine this is
Wow.
coming. So it's really crazy how creative people were now and how easy we have it now all optimized and automatically.
Yeah. That's pretty cool what we have now. But and at this time, we had a lot of boards like Jagin, Pornhub in Germany. Why not Butt and Bollocks, or what is called in ink for the British webmaster community, and even some more I don't remember, or I can't recall.
GFY, I guess, was also
GFY, yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah, that's
why not? Go fuck yourself. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, GFI was the biggest, was my first international webmaster board, and I always was astonished what's going on there, because looking on our German webmaster boards, where only fights were going on, and new webmasters were treated like, hey, what do you want here? Fuck off. Yeah. And the community was very not so, yeah, how to say, they were not homogene. Yeah, everybody fought against anybody. And so back to the question, what changed and where are those communities, the small
because
communities?
how you say it now, and I saw that myself also when I started online, it was always like a big clash, but offline it looked like everybody was homey with each other.
Yeah, you know these dogs sitting behind a fence and barking at each other, and when you open the fence, they are like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Yeah, it was the same in the boards, and yeah, but it was, you felt like part of a community, and with the rise of social media, Facebook and so on, those boards got abandoned more and more. Yeah, okay, the first board, Pornhub, got killed by Manwin. They bought it and shoot the webmaster database. That was not they didn't want to do it. That was a mistake. And then you only had and Web Royals.
Yeah, this I remember well.
Yeah, with Yagin, Web Royals, but Yagin later on also stopped working. And I think Web Royals is still on.
It's not, from what I know. The only one that is now back is No Limits.
Yeah.
That's back, but Web Royals I think is down.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't been there since a long time, and I was checking all the forums regularly to update myself, and here and there also to spam a little bit around. Hey, Masters Cash has this and this new offers, and who I can meet on this and this convention. But Web Royals, I think it's since 2 years or so not existing.
Okay, so because no, I think it's still there.
Maybe they relaunched it like No Limits. I think No Limits was also gone for a while.
Yeah, it was 2022. There's Web Royals is back.
Okay, well, I will look into that.
Yeah, but they still have 3,000 members, something around this.
Let's see how many of them are still active.
Yeah, not many. Not
many.
Not many. Back then you had postings in minute-wise. Now weekly or monthly.
But all these forums are not that active anymore. I remember when I was introduced to Stack That Money, what is not an adult forum, but a general online affiliation forum, what activity was there. And now it's only like, it's still very active compared to others, but it's not where it used to be. As you said, a lot of stuff is most probably moved to social media and these masterminds. I mean, the amount of masterminds that is happening where affiliates are going and they pay is really like very impressive. And also we have so many shows. I mean, we have most probably 3 times the amount of conferences that we used to have, and also the verticals are mixing. I go again to more than 20 conferences a year.
Yeah, but back then, I would say affiliates are not so affine to shows because they mostly like to sit in front of their computer and monitor their stats and work on their website. So back in the past, we had some affiliate shows in Germany, the thing from Matthias, yeah,
Suderbruch.
Suderbruch, which were a lot of webmasters were coming. And then we also had a change, a shift in what is a webmaster in Germany. So more and more amateur girls, when this change from brand-made porn to homemade porn was in 2005, 2006, 2007, where Privatamateure, privateonly.com and mydirtyhobby.com arise. You had first you had this huge amount of amateur homemade content, and later on, mostly the guys from the girls or even the girls turned into webmasters. And nowadays we see the success of OnlyFans, of Fan Central, of Fan7 or what they are called, and the girls, and they don't need any webmasters, they don't need any SEO. So OnlyFans is not doing any media buying. They only do a pretty good public relation work, but the traffic, the final traffic is all coming through the girls on the platform.
Yeah, or the agencies. I mean, they have the luxury situation, OnlyFans and them, that they have a lot of girls that have like media buying teams. Maybe not the girl itself, but she's teaming up with an agency. And there was recently like a very big scandal in German television about like a Telegram chat that is like adapted a little bit to the concepts of Andrew Tate, where these German kids are teaching other boys in their 20s how to use or abuse girls for OnlyFans. And there's a lot of bad stuff happening. But what they are missing out is they say like, yeah, the man is keeping 50% or 80% of the money. But what they are not saying is this guy is often buying traffic for that. So it's again like the media that is very manipulative, that in this Telegram chat are for sure assholes that keep all the money and they force the girl with like mental tricks or maybe even with like a slap or whatever. Like this bullshit is happening there for sure. But when it comes money wise, it's possible that the guy has to invest 70-80% of his share into media buying and photographers and God knows what. And this bot traffic is coming a lot and helping all these projects as well, but it's not a classical affiliate business.
No, because they take, and I would say it's worse than in the red light district. They take 60% from girls. In the red light district nowadays, pimps only take 40% from the girls.
I have no idea. This was always a field that I avoided. I avoided it private and I avoided it especially professionally.
Me too, but of course you know what the rules and the things and how it changed in the past. It was also 40 for the girls, 60 for the pimps, then it was 50-50, and nowadays we are talking about 40% for the pimps, roundabout. Yeah, but that's not our business. But here on the agency side, I have heard that there are agencies, they take 60% or they have much shadier deals, like the girl have to produce 20% of her content for the agency and license it to the agency so they can work with this content also when the girl is not anymore with the agency. So here are a lot of risks, and I think this goes a way which is not very good for the whole industry.
Yeah, I mean, scandals are rising more and more. There was also the problem with Visa and MasterCard. They didn't want to bill certain companies anymore. Now the dust settles. Most probably Visa and MasterCard realized also how much money they are losing if they are not doing that. It's the same with back in the days with mobile companies, when the carrier was realizing how much money they are losing with cutting mobile business. In the end of the day, the people that are playing like the I don't know, the moral card and want to teach people. In the end of the day, most of them are also looking at the end of the day at the money when it's nothing that is too crazy.
That's true, but that's how the webmaster thing changed, and this is why there is not such thing as a community anymore. Yeah, and of course there are still some of these old school guys around, but some of them changed into crypto, some of them changed into casino, some of them are now focusing on forex or something else, and some they searched a niche, yeah, a dating niche, mostly a dating niche, because dating is still one of the cleanest and best businesses you can do with SEO, and what you can also do best in marketing. Yeah.
We had now in Ibiza on the AW Summit, we had like a dating panel. I had to moderate that. So we let other people that know more speak, and I just moderate. And one of the guys there said that dating traffic got taken over really a lot, especially certain channels, for example, these creator communities. They were taken over by crypto and they were taken over by casino. And in general, this is like a very big threat and danger to dating. But what he also said, and this is true, dating is always working and it's always an evergreen. All these other niches, they get regulated. And he says very often it happens that he loses quite some traffic. It goes, he says, hey, where's the traffic, dude? Yeah, I promote now casino. I make 3 times more. And then there is happening like a new regulation. You cannot put a comic character on the banner anymore. You cannot promise like a win or God knows what.
Yeah.
And then boom, he goes back to dating even stronger because he made quite some money with this crypto or with this casino and God knows what. So he grew the Telegram channel. He has a bigger black or white list now to buy at more sources. So it goes in waves, but dating is definitely an evergreen that we are having here.
And I think, you know, there are 2 things. You never can, no, I wouldn't say never. But interacting with people, is a desire of people to not be alone, and the desire of people to be entertained. That's why dating and the real webcam business will always have a place in this microcosmos. Yeah, and also porn movies, good done porn movies will always have a space here, yeah, and especially in dating, so making SEO for porn is hard. For cam, it's also hard because you can't promote the girls directly. You can, but you have to deal with DCMAs and stuff. And as soon as you rise with your projects over the name of the girl in the rankings, they give you a DCMA and you're out of the game. So,
and also this girl can stop.
And the girl can stop and is not available anymore. But in dating, you have so many opportunities to make marketing, to do SEO. You can, I would say it's a Swiss knife of affiliate dating.
Dating, the Swiss knife of adult entertaining.
Yeah.
You did everything. You did also media buying, you did content relating, promotion, and so on. Let's speak a little bit about SEO and the future of SEO. The first important thing that has entered the market big time is AI. So how is AI influencing SEO?
Yeah, that's a quite a topic I get asked a lot of times at the moment, and I've also did a lot of research. So when talking about AI or KI, I would say the first what comes into mind of people is GPT, which is recently, I think, banned in Italy and Switzerland. Yeah.
Switzerland, I don't know, but Italy made something.
Yeah, Italy made something, and Switzerland, I don't know. And I think this AI can help you a lot in your daily work, but it's also a risk. And to be honest, Bing already implemented KI into their search engine, and Google did the same. Yeah, they have this BART, which is their KI.
I don't hear too much about BART.
No, you don't hear much about, because it's in the background and checking. And so I don't recommend to create text for sites through KI or AI, because Google and the search engine get already run by such intelligence. So the risk to being caught is very high. Yeah, so I would say there are a lot of great use to these new technologies, but leave it out of SEO. Maybe keyword research, yes, this is a topic research, bring your ideas, that's great to help you what in the past a virtual assistant would have done. Yeah, or you would have done while sitting on the toilet. Yeah, so in this, so for example, when I build a dating site and I need a list of the biggest cities in this land, I want to launch a SEO dating site, the biggest cities, the go-to places, to write my own text then. Yeah, not make the research on my own, because in the past when I made a dating project and rolled out the cities which I want to optimize for. Yeah, I had to research on Wikipedia, which are the biggest cities in this country, which are the biggest cities, which are the biggest cities in this country, and then what to do in this city. So travel.
I mean, also in dating, it could be, for example, a relevant combination, not only the biggest cities, but also the one that have like a very big income.
Yeah.
Because, for example, Berlin, okay, Berlin is not poor, but the chargebacks from Berlin and the income in general is not as good as in other cities that are smaller. So if you just go from the size, it's maybe not that lucrative.
For sure, and also talking in SEO terms, to generate more for the lower hanging fruits is for beginners always better than to obtain for the high hanging and much redder fruits. Yeah, but I would say KI and AI can be used more for researching. And all this stuff, but at the end, writing your texts, you should still do it on your own or hire a professional texter.
How you can assure that the professional texter is making it by hand and not by AI?
I would say there are two. I have to be honest. What I didn't check if there are tools to find out if a text is generated by AI or KI. But I think there is already something out like this. But mostly, I would say I can tell if a text is generated by AI, because it's too smooth. It's good. it's missing. It's still missing the personal touch. Yeah, but in general, it has also something to do with trust. And the most SEO guys, for sure, they have their writing.
And I assume also when you worked with the content writer for a while, you get a feeling about his style. And if the style is changing now 180 degree, you know something is off. It's many years ago, I had like the request from some affiliates, SEO affiliates, to generate content for Germany, Shemale. I think they were even promoting Masters in Cash, but it was way before I started working there. And I arranged them some content writers, and they did everything. Like, I think there was also some stuff to translate, and they did everything perfect. And these guys were super happy about the quality. And then out of the sudden, the guy that was writing the content thought like he's like extra smart. And he was not using an AI solution because nothing like this was there, but he was taking texts that were in English about this topic, and he just used an auto translate. And they found out, and the guy, he was earning every month 2,000 euros extra just with copywriting. And he had like a job where he had to go with the train through Germany. So the guy was sitting half of his time in a train where he was doing nothing else, and he could earn, he could double his salary like this. And then he makes it like this, and they end it. So even this guy's not even understanding the language, we're seeing something is off. So yeah.
Yeah, and there were, you know, there were long before GI and AI, there were text generating tools out there. Like,
Or maybe he used something like this. I don't remember it exactly, but I think it was translated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the most common thing that you search. And to be honest, I did it also sometimes when there was a topic I was not really, not for clients, but for my own research or own sites, that I tried it. But at the end, it was more work than to write a new text, because you had to change translations which were too off of our topic. Yeah, maybe you can translate a travel text, but you can't translate adult text, because
midget, one-armed midget grandmas.
Yeah, no, you are not able. Yeah, so writing your own text is mostly good, but in what I call the Swiss knife of the adult industry is because there are so many ways and so many possibilities you can do SEO for adult sites. Yeah, doing the well-known test sites. It's this how good are each dating sites, or but you can also go from this dating pickup artist stuff, like giving people tips how to do relationships and how to flirt with women. Yeah. And then this city guides with dating, what to do with a girl in a new city. So you have a lot of ways to promote it. Yeah. Coming to porn, you can do a review site, a porn review site. You can do a tube site, which I wouldn't recommend nowadays. And yeah, what else? There we are. You can do a porn star website, which is also very complicated, and you are again you are dealing with girls, and when they stop or they run a DCMA on Google, you're out of the game like this. Yeah, so also with Cam, you have a few options, but not so many. So I think dating is really at the moment so the go-to when it comes to SEO.
What are it? I mean, this is now the topic that you are working on, but how you rank? What are the most important ranking factors nowadays?
Those are, yeah, you know, since I am very deep in this topic, I read a lot from colleagues and from other researchers and such called SEO gurus, and also from Google, what Google is writing, and to analyze everything for myself and also doing my own tests is, I would say, so there are a few standard factors like write interesting contents, have good external backlinks, the length of your texts, how the page loading speed, social signals, and all this. I think when we go down, there are over 30 ranking factors out there, which plays into the overall picture of the site. Of course, you have things like authority score of the site, the text, the content you are publishing, which are the biggest or the hugest ranking factors. But I would say in the others, Google plays with the ranking factors, with the percentage, how much weight do they add to the popularity or to the ranking of your site. So I think you would go best when you have a site which is fast as hell, yeah, has interesting content, and here we are on what's most important, because a lot of SEO gurus said, yeah, you have to write texts over 1,800 words. My dear Stefan, you wrote a book, right?
Practically, it is written. It is at the moment at the lectorate, but yeah.
So you know how much work it takes
when
to
this
write.
is published, the book is also out, I think.
Yeah, but so you know how hard it is to write 2,000 words. Yeah. And when you know how hard to write 2,000 words, you also know how hard it is to read 2,000 words. I would say Google is intelligent, or the PI behind Google and everything is intelligent enough to measure how long a user coming from Google to the site is reading the text. Of course, you have bounce rate, yeah. So even a 500 word text, if it gets, if the user reads it through, yeah, and maybe even exchange it on social networks or make a bookmark on this site, but mostly read it all the way. I think on specific topics, you are also fine with 500 to 600 words, up to 1,000 words, and you don't need this 2,000, 2,800 words. Yeah. I think there are other factors which are much, much more important, like the page speed, the mobile usability, the overall usability. And if you nowadays want to have a site which really outplays the competition, I would already say go back to a self-development CMS.
So no WordPress.
Yes, you can use it, and yes, you can get decent rankings on Google, but for real optimization, and if you want to earn money in affiliate, no, use your own CMS. And it's not so expensive as everybody thinks to have this own CMS. Yeah. Because you can, it's much, much faster than WordPress. There are a lot of tools to optimize WordPress, but trust me, you never get it as fast as...
Yeah, I tried to make the restaurant website from me complete myself in WordPress. And I mean, I had some help, some guy who set up the basic stuff, but the moment I entered new plugins, nothing was working again. Then I needed a professional. He sees which plugins are matching, which plugins are not. He has to replace it. Nightmare. One thing that you mentioned already several times now is the importance with social. You call it social signals, but you also said that somebody is sharing maybe the content. what are social signals and how you as the SEO affiliate can positive influence them?
So, social signals are the amount of links you get from different networks like Facebook, Twitter, and so on. That means people share your stuff or mention you when it comes down to a relevant topic. Yeah. To get something like this in porn is, or the dating is hard. Nobody is going, hey, look, my last affair I found there. Yeah, most likely not. Yeah. So here we are. You have to help a little bit to get those social signals, and to invest some money. Like there are platforms out there also in the adult influencer where you can buy Twitter shout outs, Twitter pins, Twitter whatever, Instagram shout outs, mostly not for adult.
One question is Google or Bing or whoever realizing also Instagram stories, or is this just because it's hard to post a link in Instagram that is clickable? You have to make it practically in the bio. So when you put it in a story, this is what they are usually doing. Is this having an influence, or is this with this 24 hours too short living to be realized?
Of course. That's not too short. They get it.
They get it.
Sure.
Okay.
They get it. That's not what is. It's like in the past with marketing for other brands. The more you get mentioned, the more people, and the more people look for it, and the bigger the brand gets.
So maybe it's not even that they realize the posting of it, but they see that from Instagram are coming now out of a sudden 50 visitors that were there not before, and these visitors are highly engaged. So
no, because you already they did. You can't post links in mentions or something like this, or when you have
in the meantime you can.
You can.
In Instagram, yes. Actually, it's since around 2 years. I also missed this. Maybe it's even longer. Somebody told me, because before you could only do it if you had 10,000 followers. So people were buying followers like crazy just to get this this option. But now every idiot, I mean, I have a small base of followers, but even I can do that. I'm under 1,000.
Yeah, you as the account, but when someone is answering your posts or is doing comments,
no, that not. No. So it can be only in the story or in the bio.
Yeah, that's
I mean, what is possible is that this, let's say I put now a link and I see that often that people that I think have an idea about online marketing, they are putting under their post or in a comment still their link. It is not clickable, but maybe Google is realizing there is a link. Okay, it's not clickable, but maybe it's influencing it as well. I mean, maybe we don't even know that.
No, here we are. SEO has also a lot you can measure. Nowadays you can measure a lot, and I wouldn't say what everybody says. You can't measure everything. So 10, 15 years ago, SEO was a simple, you had to look into the glass bowl and predict things, what will change, like page rank and this Google page rank and everything. Nowadays, you have pretty a lot of tools to measure and predict everything, yeah. But you still have things you can think about, and I noticed back then in the 2005, 6, 7s when YouPorn came up, or YouTube, that when you had brandings in your videos and people typed in the browser, this has also influence because Google is nearly a brain for itself, yeah. And when now there are coming more and more typings to a website through the browser page, and back then, a lot of people, they didn't put it directly in the address bar. They had the Google bar below, and they put the www.domainname.com into the Google search bar. And then your domain was shown on the top, and they clicked on it. So that you got a lot of typing and traffic through Google, but to search directly for your domain. And of course, Google is noticing this. Yeah, and the search engine is taking this into consideration of how important your site is. So what does the search engine get a signal? That the guy invested a lot for a marketing campaign, which is not online, yeah, and people getting online and searching for the brand, or they have in a newspaper where they read and type it into the browser, but there's traffic coming to the site which is not going through keywords. So they say, well, this site has a lot of traffic, and they monitor it and play with it.
So practically everything that creates this type in traffic is having a very positive influence. Also, we have quite some guys. We have partners that are making in this niche TV stations. They make advertising for the white labels they have with us. So this would work. Or that is having the Resteficken. So that is giving out cabs, and he puts on the toilets from the truck drivers or so, like the stickers, and they are lonely in their little lorry, and they are like Resteficken. So this is all having like a super influence.
This, of course, is having an influence, because that's setting engagement on the site, which is a huge ranking factor. Engagement on the site, also the bounce rate. But when you have nice content on your site, and in this case, for example, with his Resteficken, he has this weird dating profiles where you can't stop because each one is better than the next one. Yeah. Also,
there are a few artists that know how to write these niche articles, like super engaging. So I have the feeling that 50-60% of the visitors are not even looking for a date, but somebody is maybe sharing this on WhatsApp and say like, look what weird stuff we found. I mean,
and here we are, and this is what's playing Google directly in the hand. That people say, well, this is so gold, I have to share it. Yeah.
And for example, I'm like in a newsletter, call it like this, from John Smith, and are you there as well?
I'm not in the newsletter, but
it's not a newsletter, but let's say like a WhatsApp newsletter, and he's sending there the weirdest profiles and messages and God knows what that are coming in, and there is stuff that is so weird that I translated it from German to English to show it people. So I do these jobs since 14 years. These people are doing it also that long. It's of course nobody from payment that I send something like this, but also people that are run dating programs also said, look what this guy is having. So this goes even viral international because it's so bizarre.
That's true, and this is also so optimizing for Google nowadays is a full-scale job. That means you don't only have to be a knowledge about how to optimizing the site technically, how to write engaging and interesting content, but also how to do viral marketing, social media marketing, how to do advertisement. Because also if your site is getting advertisement traffic, means your site is something more worth than only affiliate site. So try to make sites which are interesting for people. when it gets down to SEO. It's not 2005, 2003 anymore, where spamming the text with the desired keyword and pushing backlinks on it is the only two things you needed to rank on first place. Yeah, and get some very good ranks from page rank 4 or 5 websites. Yeah, to gain a lot of traffic. Nowadays it got really hard, and you have to bring much more expertise than only the technical or the optimizing. So you on your own, when we are talking about Swiss knives, you on your own as an affiliate specializing in SEO have to be a Swiss knife. Yeah.
And we come practically to an end here. Theoretically, we could skip the last question. It's the golden nugget, the best advice you can give to somebody regarding online marketing or SEO in your case that you haven't heard 100 times. I mean, you said, especially in the last half of the interview, a lot of very valuable things. But is there maybe one thing more where you say like, hey, this is something that everybody out there, new or established, have to consider? It don't have to be SEO, it can be anything.
Don't worry too much.
The rankings are hitting in any way.
Because when you're doing a good job, don't worry too much means don't play it too technically. Do a good job and search for your niche. Because nothing is more important to be committed to something. And when you have a niche or a topic which interests you on your own or you're into as well, you work much better than when you optimize for something you don't even are interested in. Yeah.
And I have one question regarding this. Don't worry. How long it takes? It's most probably also a stupid question that cannot be answered proper, but how long it usually takes until you see first results when you set up a new SEO page?
You can count on a half year.
Half a year.
Half a year until you see first rankings and first traffic coming in. Maybe a little bit earlier. It also depends on the budget you have. So I recommend
with budget you mean to buy backlinks?
To buy backlinks, yes, and shout outs on Twitter and so on, getting engagement rolling. I would say a half year, maybe 3 months when you are quick and you get good, really fast, really good backlinks, but a half year. And when you work without all of this, a year.
So let's say I don't want to create backlinks because I don't have budget, but I'm very good. I'm very good. Impossible.
It doesn't work.
Okay, so no matter how good your content is, if you are not having like luck that you share it with some people and they share it and it gets viral.
Yeah, that's backlinks, but without getting backlinks, forget it. You can write the best text, you can make the most beautiful site, the most usability site. You won't win a prize with it. Yeah.
Interesting. I always thought that if it's really good, it works also.
That Google is telling you this, and some of this funny websites giving SEO advices. They only want to keep you unsuccessful.
Fuckers. Okay, don't listen to the wrong gurus. Watch this podcast with Thorsten. He also made a podcast with one other friend here. So check out what Thorsten is doing and what is coming from him in the future. It was the longest podcast I ever made in all of my channels. We have 1.5 hours in the book.
Wow.
And yeah, theoretically, we could have done this for like 2 hours more because already the history was very interesting.
Yeah.
I think also the SEO part, you explained it in a way that somebody that is not a SEO expert understands it also very good. So Thorsten,
that was my goal.
Pardon?
That was my goal.
That was your goal. So thank you very much for sharing all this knowledge, Thor, and thank you, Masters in Cash, for presenting. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Stefan. Bye-bye.